Now that Romney's out, not going for the nomination, what's the deal? How does the field stack up? That's what we'll talk about in today's Lunch Alert. Romney's withdrawal at first blush would seem to be an advantage to Bush because they're both competitors for that sort of main circle of the Republican establishment support, the other being the Tea Party and the evangelicals. And that's a coveted nomination. Usually the winner of that circle goes on to get the nomination. And it looked like Bush and Romney were going to have a huge fight against each other. And now with Romney out, it looks like Bush will be able to move ahead. But I'm not at all certain that Bush is able to absorb and hold the status of the front runner in this election. A front runner, which he probably would be at this point, is subject to all kinds of negatives. Everybody has their guns trained on him, their sights on him, and it becomes far more relevant what the front runner says than what anybody else says. So if somebody else makes a mistake, it's a minor matter. The front runner says something that's difficult or hard to credit, then all of a sudden all hell breaks loose. And Bush does not in the polling show the kind of decisive lead that he would have to be able to defend a position as the front runner. In a sense, he has the anointing, but he doesn't have the vote base to sustain that. He's weaker than that. You'd think that when you put Bush into a field of only sort of known candidates like Cruz and Walker and Rand Paul and so on, that he would bob way up to the top, but he doesn't. In the national polls, he's more or less the same as Rubio and Paul and a couple of the others. In Iowa, he's third or fourth, with Walker being first. So I don't know if Bush has the capacity to sustain the role as frontrunner. He's going to be hit hard on immigration and on Common Core, the two areas in which he's shown apostasy from the normal Republican conservative agenda. And while those are courageous positions, they're not going to be popular ones among the Republican electorate. And you can see a situation developing where Bush moves out ahead, but then gets all hell descends on him, and he ends up losing that front-runner position. And that, of course, empties the field, and there's a real chance at that point for other candidates to emerge. In particular, you have Scott Walker, who appeals both to the establishment and to the Tea Party group. You have Huckabee, who's undoubtedly going to win the evangelical vote, and Ted Cruz or Rand Paul, who will fight each other for the Tea Party vote. My bet is that Cruz wins that. And you have a lot of other people that might surface. You have Kasich from Ohio and Jindal from Louisiana, and Perry may make it back into the race after the indictment from Texas. So this is a wide open field. And at this point, I do not think that Bush necessarily has the heft to be able to defend his front-runner status. Thanks for watching.